You can see how strong it is, how it's fighting. But that's what this test is about. So I just had to get out in this break of the English weather. It's been absolutely terrible as late, but we've got a short break, and it's very, very windy. You can see on screen 25 mile an hour and over 50 mile an hour gusts, and that's what today's video is all about. It's testing the DJI Mavic 3 Classic and see how it copes with the wind. So let's get him up and see what happens. Let's get him in the air. I'll shut the window because it's quite noisy at this location, especially with the traffic and the wind. So let's see how we go. I'm not going to take it too far. I'm not going to take it too high. We'll see how she goes. Looking at the tilt, let's get the compass. Let's get the compass up. You can see how strong it is, how it's fighting. But that's what this test is about. Look at the compass. And I'm just looking up at it. I've got the stick fully right. It's just, I can't believe the tilt on that is unbelievable. I'm just going to spin it round into the wind. That's away from the wind. Let's spin it into the wind. Go back a little bit. Just drop it down. Strong wind warnings at 12 meters. Just in normal mode, but that's certainly flying okay. That is. Right, stick it in sports mode. Try and there we go. So 13 meters a second. That's handling it absolutely superb. I've got no inhibitions whatsoever with that. Just fly straight in the crosswind. Strong wind warnings. I wonder why. Oh dear. Just look at the roll on that attitude indicator. That's incredible. But I just had to come out and test this Mavic 3 Classic in the strong wind. I wish I'd got a camera looking at the drone. Okay, let's zoom it out a bit. Like I say, I'm not going to go too mad. I don't want to risk anything. Flying in sports mode at the moment, so I've got no issues whatsoever with it coming back. But looking at the roll on that, superb. I mean, we're talking 50, I think it was 52 miles an hour gust when I last checked. I think you just saw that on the screen earlier. Like I say, it's only 6 meters up. We'll just take it up a bit higher till we get a strong wind warning. 44 meters. That's pretty impressive. There she goes. Obviously, like I say, sat in the car because if I was to step outside. There we go, strong wind warnings. Let's bring it back in reverse sports mode. Looking at that tilt on the attitude indicator, it is actually blowing it very, very slightly to the left hand side, but I would have no inhibitions whatsoever to fly this in strong winds. I dare say the Mini 3 Pro would probably struggle. In fact, what I might do is put it up just to give you an idea of the difference. But that is superb. Cannot believe it. Obviously, there's no obstacle avoidance where you're using sports mode, but there's nothing around here. I do come out to this location quite a lot. We'll just try it in normal mode and see how she copes in normal mode. See, only 10 meters up. Look at the roll. Look at the pitch. Even in normal mode, it's still doing a fantastic job. Right, we've just got to do it. We've got to get the Mini 3 Pro out and see what it's like in this wind against this one. Okay, let's close the window. Well, she's holding her own. I'll get him up to 10 meters. Oh, he's been blown about a bit. Let's face the wind. There we go. Facing the wind, and he was being blown back a little bit there, but to be honest with you, just go left a little bit. To be honest with you, take him up to 10 meters. We're in normal mode. That's flying into the wind. As you can see, strong wind warnings. Flying backwards, which is with the wind, so that's not an issue. Even in normal mode, it's doing fairly well. Let's do a little bit of a recording. I'm going to put it into sports mode. Okay, let's fly out a little bit. Not too far. That's being knocked about, but it's very difficult to tell because as you can appreciate, the gimbal was doing a fantastic job, and if you saw that, the angle that was tilted at, it's incredible for a 249 gram drone. That is pretty good. Obviously, it's not as strong as the Mavic 3 Classic, but he's doing a fantastic job. It really is. Right, let's fly it out a little bit further. Being knocked about. Like I say, it's very difficult to imagine because that gimbal is rock steady. But I'll tell you what, 25 mile an hour, it's coping with that. The gusts at 50 miles an hour is fantastic. A little rebel Mini 3 Pro doing an awesome job, although it's dancing about all over the place in the sky. Oh, it took a dive there. I don't know what happened there, but it took a bit of a nose dive. I don't know whether you saw that, but tremendous little drone fighting these winds. It's spinning round. It's so quick in sports mode. Don't forget you can alter those settings in your expose settings if you don't want it to turn so quickly. Well, it's up and down like a yo-yo in this wind. I'm trying to look at the screen, but I did take my eyes off the drone. What an absolute champion this little fella is. Let's see if we can bring it down. I'll tell you what, I'll go outside and I'll show you exactly what I mean, how well it's fighting this wind. I'll tell you one thing I didn't do. That was to fly into the wind. Let's go back. That's flying backwards with the wind. Right, Mini 3 Pro. Let's see what you do. Fly into the wind. We are in sports mode. You can see the speed is really struggling into the wind, but worst case scenario, I think you just about get back, depending on how far out you were. I had to put it back into normal mode or bring him into land. This is where you can crash these little fellas if they get a sudden gust. Just drop it straight down. I'm not even going to bother trying to hand catch it. I think this little fella did quite well, to be honest with you, in those strong gusts. But I just thought I'd got to nip out and give this a try and just see exactly what it's like in the strong winds here in the break of the weather. So I hope you got something out of the video. Just shows you that the Mavic 3 Classic is an absolute beast in the winds. I have no inhibitions flying that whatsoever with that test. And even the little Mini 3 Pro, well, what can I say about this fella? It's just fantastic for the size of it and how well it coped with those strong winds. So if you've enjoyed it, you got something out of it, don't forget, give us the old thumbs up. And if you're new around here, why don't you consider subscribing, dinging the dong and all the rest of it that goes with it. And we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.